Hey guys, as the title says, I'm going to be doing or continuing work on my Turing project. So just a refresher for those of you who weren't here last time and don't know what a Turing machine is or don't remember. This is an example of a Turing machine on my screen. It has these different states. It goes throughout the states based on an input string, and a state with two outlines is a halting state. That means when it gets there, it stops and says, hey, your input is either valid or invalid. And the syntax for the transitions are the character to read / the character to write / L or R, depending on if you're going left or right. So I have a shorter example string this time. So there's an underscore, which is a blank. It starts on 0. So it reads the underscore, writes the underscore, which is the same thing as doing nothing, and then goes right. So now it gets this 0. So it reads the 0, writes the 1, goes right, transitions back to state 1. Then it reads the 1, writes a 0, goes right, and transitions back to state 1. Then it sees the underscore and goes left. Then, because it's a 0, it uses this transition and turns the 0 into a 1 and then goes right again. And then it sees the underscore, goes left, state 4. It reads this 1, turns into a 0, reads this 1 again, turns that into a 0, sees the underscore, goes right into the halting state. And so it turned 0, 1 in binary to 0, 0, which is expected because this Turing machine just subtracts 1. That's all it does. So the progress that we made last time was, it's almost functional. The only issue is when you run it, it gets a null pointer exception. So it says input a string to evaluate. So I'll just do 0, 0 or 0, 1, just like our example. And I need to start and end it with an underscore because that's what my instruction file says. I don't have that on the screen right now. I probably should have opened that because it's an assignment that I need instructions for. When I hit enter, it says null pointer exception. So at line 16, which is string output equals tm.processString input string. This is slightly different than when I ended because I did a little bit into trying to find the null, and it's not because it's trying to print a null as I originally expected. So I'm actually just going to put this back the way it was. There we go. And so it's somewhere in process string, but it doesn't say where in process string. So the first thing I'm going to do to try and see what is the issue is I'm actually going to open up the instructions and tell it to actually output stuff while it's going through, so that I can actually see part of what it's doing. So off screen I am going through my school files to actually get the instructions. There we go. So in Turing machine, where does it actually do the work? It does the work here. And I am going to put it there. So system.out.println, and I'm going to want current state dot ID, get ID, plus plus input, because yeah, input does get changed, so it's not going to print the same thing every time. So if I run this again, we should get more information than just null, hopefully. Nope, we still are getting null pointer. Oh, wait. I think I know where it's getting the null pointer, because TM is null. So we're not creating TM from file properly. So let's go into here. So I'm just going to put a bunch of breakpoints in here and follow it step by step to see where it's going wrong. You actually don't need the breakpoint at the brackets. Okay, so run. Why aren't you running in debugging? Run. There we go. Wasn't running in debugging for some reason. Those are just creating variables. Lines is... Sorry, one moment. I have a phone notification. There we go. Yeah, lines is just all the lines in the file. States is a bunch of null states, that makes sense. Halting state is 5, that's correct. Remaining transitions is empty, that's correct. Okay. So after it goes through here, it adds a bunch to remaining transitions. So now remaining transitions should have a bunch of transitions. Read, write, 1, 0. Read, write, 1, 0. Yeah. It looks correct. Then somewhere in here it's causing it to get an exception. So I suppose what I could actually do is remove all these breakpoints. Let it continue, and I'll catch it at the exception. Okay. They didn't tell me what the exception was. Get message. Okay. So let me remove these. And start again. Oops, typing in the wrong spot. It just says no. Why does it just say null? You're supposed to print out the message.
Sure.
Okay, what is E? E is index 1 out of bounds for length 1. What does that mean? I mean, I know what that means, but like, where is that? Less than states dot length, less than remaining states less than j less than size j minus minus. System dot out dot print line j. So when I stop. When I run this again, it should tell me all the values of j, because I'm hoping that no. How about this? I comment out this try catch, and it throws the error there, and then I find it. Build failed. Why did build fail? Because there's 2 returns, maybe? Cancel. Okay. Run again. Index out of bounds exception. Main. Create from file. 96. Main 96. Okay. Remaining transitions dot remove I. Oh, I don't want it to be I think. I want it to be J. Because because J is what I'm using to loop. Yay, it worked. So, if I remove this try, or not remove the try, but remove the commenting, and uncomment that as well. Come on, mouse, stop being weird. Okay. And why is it also printing the final thing again? So let me collapse all these because they don't need to be open. Okay. Because I have it told to print out that. Okay, so it doesn't actually need to print out because that's involved in the actual processing. Then in process string, I want it to system.out.print line say /t bracket halt. And then these will, instead of being print lines, have a new line at the beginning. So then when I run this, it should say halt at the end, and yep, like the example wants. So what I actually want to do is pull that out and put that at the beginning. And so if I restart this and do it again, 0, 0, 1, 1, now it doesn't do the last one. That's fine. Let's just do this. So now I restart it again. That looks right. So let's create a new function, private static. Why did I put it as capital S? Static string. Get current input, I guess. And that will be a string input and int index. Index for the selected character. String builder. I guess it could just be a string. Return input dot substring, because then at 0 go to index, plus input dot get char or char at index, plus input dot substring index. Now, does it accept just one int? It does. What does it begin index? Okay, that's good. And I want to do bracket and bracket. What doesn't it like? It's never used locally. That's okay. I'm going to fix that right now. It's an input get current input. I think it's I. Okay. And then up here as well. Okay, so I run this and it should work. 2011. My other programming class is doing a lot of theoretical stuff, not actual programming stuff. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you're on the YouTube side, hit the like button down below, and the subscribe and the bell. Comments in the comment section. Till next time, bye.